Lacey Chabert and Scott Wolf reunite as brother and sister in a merry Scottish Christmas coming to us on the Hallmark Channel. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Of course, happy to be here.
Good to be with you.
As far as how this project came about and you two teaming up again since Party of Five, who made the call first? How did this project happen?
It was totally mutual.
It really was. It was a few years ago. Lacey obviously has done so many incredible movies for Hallmark. I did my first one, and as soon as I did, there was a bunch of online chatter about, hang on, we need to get these two together. So Lacey and I reached out to each other and both thought it was a pretty exciting idea.
Yes, we loved it. And the fact that we're actually here and we've made this movie and now we're talking about it, it's a total dream come true.
Does it feel like not a moment has passed since you filmed Party of Five?
Yeah.
Like just getting
In
back
some ways. Yeah, in some ways, it feels like a lot of time has passed. We both have, families of our own and a lot of time's gone by. But then we just fall back into the same dynamic we've always had. We just love each other a lot and are kind of forever family to each other. So.
Yes, 100%. It was so much fun, that first scene. I'll never forget, we were like in a field. We arrived on set and it was so surreal to me that there we were again, together again after all this time. And it's the same feeling of like no time has passed.
Yeah.
Really special.
Let's talk a little bit about the movie. Your mom, we're going to go on a holiday vacation. The brother and sister think like, oh, we're just going to go, to Scotland, not realizing there might be a family secret that she might be hiding.
Yeah, I mean, these we find in the story where it opens, we find that Brad and Lindsay they've kind of lost each other a little bit along the way, and they have some fractures in their relationship. They get called to Scotland by their mother, and this fascinating news comes their way, which really sets them on a new path in life. And in trying to figure out how to navigate that, they really find each other again.
Yeah, we both were invested in the idea that as excited as we were to work together after all these years, and as excited as we hoped the audience would be to see us working together, we wanted to give them kind of something to have to earn their way through, a bit of a challenge. And so rather than finding these two characters just happy-go-lucky in each other's lives, they're in this really challenging place. And the story really is about family that, sometimes has challenge and drifts apart, and the importance of coming back together. And that's really what the heart of the story is.
And it's going to happen to so many families, especially coming together with the holiday season, is that maybe you move to different cities or you have your own families.
Sure.
And there's those things that like have been haunting you the past couple of years or maybe since childhood. And this is a great reflection of like, you can put those things behind you and, move forward. I don't want to give too much away from the movie, but it's a good thing for brothers and sisters and families to watch together.
Totally. And those are some of my favorite scenes where we have the memory, like a few childhood memories, and it just sparks that joy. And I think the holidays are so amazing for that, when you can reconnect with people that you love. And I know for myself, like the traditions that I had growing up, and it reminds me of my childhood, and I so enjoy passing those things along to my daughter. And I think we see a lot of that joy in this movie.
Yeah, and as you said, I can't imagine a better message than family, joining at the holidays, and even families that have had challenges or have drifted apart. It's the perfect time of year, and the spirit of reuniting, which I think was really at the heart of what Lacey and I were doing.
Yeah, it was an awesome reunion on camera and off.
Yeah.
As far as going to Scotland to film the movie, did you get to bring your families? How long were you there? Tell me a little bit about that.
We did.
We did. Our families, we were there shooting a little bit before our families arrived, but then everybody came together, and we came together in this really magical location outside in Edinburgh in Scotland, at a place called Duns. And we literally, her family and my family and the entire production landed at this really beautiful, charming castle in the countryside of Scotland. And
Yes.
We saw each other's, at one point you could tell the story about the first time we came out that door.
Yeah, we were filming a scene. We exited the castle, and it's like a walk and talk where we're walking in the scene. And we both looked over, and our kids, my daughter and Scott's 3 kids, were playing on the front lawn, playing tag. And it was such a, it reminded me of me being that age, when we first started on Party of Five. And it was just such a sweet full circle moment where I was like, oh my gosh, now our kids are playing together and in this beautiful setting. And it was one of those moments I was like, this is very dreamy and I don't want to forget it.
Yeah, we knew working together was going to be an incredible feeling and experience, just because it's been so long. And but then to have our families folded into the experience was just more than we could have ever dreamt.
Yeah.
Lacey, let's talk. This isn't the only reunion as far as Scott. You also reunited with some of your cast members from Mean Girls for the Walmart Black Friday commercial. I mean, what's the season been like for you, especially, having these big projects, from your past that people have connected to, for the better part of, 2 or 3 decades?
It makes me feel old. It's a
It
lot
wasn't an
of
old question
time.
because you look amazing. No, but I mean, you're
You're
so
so
connected
sweet.
to people.
No, I am a really nostalgic person. I'm super sentimental about things. So I love a reunion. It means so much to me that I'm so thankful that I've been a part of projects that have resonated with people and that they still mean something all these years later. And that particular reunion with the cast from Mean Girls was just a total joy and so much fun to film and so much fun to be Gretchen again for a minute. And then we have another reunion, with Hall at the Holly lit up next weekend. So that was really fun to be with that cast again. And, I just have such joy in making these movies, and getting to do this one with Scott was an absolute dream come true.
I want to ask you one Mean Girls question because, as fans on social media, you might, on Wednesdays we wear pink, or, might hashtag
Right.
fetch or October 3rd, because people will celebrate that day. I mean, what is your day like? On, like, as far as your phone, like, does it blow up? As far as you go out, like, what is?
And the funny thing is, I had a nephew born on October 3rd. So my brother had a son born on October 3rd. And he called me and he goes, "Everyone's all excited about the baby, but what I keep hearing about is that's so cool that you had a baby on National Mean Girls Day." And he goes, "What is that?" And he said, and people kept telling him, "Just ask your sister, she'll explain it."
That's great.
But it's again, it's so nice when people, enjoy your work, and you get to be a part of something that is loved. And I'm really just thankful for the path that I've been on and all of the things that I've had the chance to be involved with.
And Scott, I love this movie, but this isn't your first holiday Christmas movie that you've been a part of. Go, which I'm going to call a Christmas movie from the 90s, is one of my favorite movies, but it was also Melissa McCarthy's very first movie as
Yeah.
well, too. Tell me a
Wow.
little bit about filming that scene and what you remember about that.
Well, what I remember most distinctly is, Jay and I showed up to do this scene, and I think it might have been just this one scene in the movie. And we had never met before, and she was the funniest human that we had ever been in a room with. And she just stole the scene away from Jay and I. We didn't have a chance. And it was one of those remarkable experiences of, like, you walk away like, who was that person that just opened that
Wow.
door and delivered a genius performance? Because it's hard to come into a film and do one scene and kind of
Yeah.
steal the whole movie. And but obviously now we know Melissa McCarthy's well capable of doing that anytime she wants. So it was awesome. It was really, really a cool experience.
It's a wonderful cast and go. So if you have not seen that movie, go ahead and go check it out. And definitely go check out A Merry Scottish Christmas on Hallmark Channel, premiering this Saturday. Scott, Lacey, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
Thanks for hanging
you.
out with us.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Happy holidays.